Well, hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of my vlog series. I stand corrected. Welcome to part 2 of Vlog with a Dog. Well, today is January 10th, 2017. A week and a half of the new year is already behind us. It just seems that the older you get, the quicker time goes by, doesn't it? I think it feels that way from my perspective anyway, because when you're a kid, say you're 4 years old, 1 year, that's a quarter of the time you've been on this earth. But then you get up around your 50s and 60s, and a year is a fraction of that time that you've been here, and it just feels like it goes by in a blink. The onset of a new year is always a reflective time for me because I grab my journals and I read over my previous year. I look upon the things that I wanted to do, see how many of those I actually did accomplish, see how productive I was throughout the year, but primarily to see how happy I stayed. I like to read about the things that caused me grief, the mistakes that I made, what my actions were to these problems that caused me grief, what the outcome was due to my actions, and so on, and make the changes as I see fit. Throughout 2016, I think it was one of the best years of my life, if probably the best year of my life as far as emotional spikes are concerned. In the past, there was ups and downs and ups and downs, and most of it was like this. There was a lot of good spikes, but I didn't go very low very often. Stayed in control of my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings. It was good. I'm going to be talking a lot about that kind of thing in some future videos. So I learned a lot from my journals. In a sense, I wrote my own guidebook because now I can look back upon all of the things I did in my life and learn from it, where a lot of people won't accept their mistakes as mistakes and they continue to blame. And when you blame others, you never move on. You drag this ball and chain of hatred and resentment behind you. You never learn. You never let go. So like I said, I'm going to talk a lot about that in some upcoming videos. It's going to be a good year. I got a lot planned for you guys. There's a lot in store.
The beavers are all locked under the ice now. It's pretty amazing how nature is, huh? Their entrances to the lodge are underwater. And this beaver's in good shape because I'm standing on the dam. This is where the water's the deepest. So he won't get froze out. He'll be in good shape. And that's their food supply that they stockpile in the fall. And some of that he can't access right now, but there's a lot of that beneath the ice. And in the springtime, you'll see a lot of little pieces that they cut off and they bring it up into the lodge and they eat it and then they cast them out. And there'll be a pile of cut-offs all peeled in the springtime. Peeled sticks like this here. That would be a nice walking stick, beavers. Beaver peeled walking stick. It's even cut to the right height. I think I'm going to keep that one. Yeah. Thank you, beaver.
Now, isn't that funny? Right here in the exact spot that I always stand when I come and watch the beavers, I find this stick. It's just a beaver chewed stick. And I could disregard it. There's sticks all over the dam. But sometimes, if you change the way you look at things, it's a whole different world. It's all up to your perception. Where a lot of people are always complaining about what they don't have, and they can start off their day in a bad mood. But if they just took a minute to be thankful for what they do have, it can make all the difference in the world. So I'm just out on my morning jaunt, like I do every morning, taking Frankie out. And I come to check out the beaver pond. All is well. And I find this stick. And the reason I'm tickled by it is because of the way that I'm looking at it. Here, if I was going to make myself a walking stick, I would cut it this tall, because this is the perfect height for me. When I stop to ponder something, this is what I do. Quite often I'll put my camera on the top like this when I'm filming, and this is the height that I would choose. It's also the diameter that I would choose. It's not too heavy, but it's still stout enough that if I had a issue with an animal or whatever, it could be a weapon. So I find this stick laying here in the exact spot that I always stand, and I'm going to consider it a gift. The beavers made me a walking stick. So I'm going to take this back to the workshop. I'll make a few little changes, maybe put a lanyard. I might even do a little bit of artwork on it. But I'm going to keep it as a gift. And because I'm looking at it as so, it's made my morning for me. Yep. I provide the beavers with a safe haven, they provided me with a pond, and they left me a little gift before the pond froze over. And I'm tickled by it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did and you'd like to see more of the cabin life, please click the subscribe button so that you can follow along with future updates. All the best to you, and God bless.